Hi there, Lee with Knacks Plus and eBay TCG player Mana Pool. Today I'm going to try to do a little video where we go over some slabs. Obviously, people know the big three, and I have a couple of examples of other ones that are not part of the big three that people like to use, less popular, hopefully some upcoming. So, guys, let me know what you guys think about these companies. Well, obviously, we're going to start with the big three. Then I'll show you a couple examples, some other ones, and my personal favorites. I'll point those out as well. I'm going to flip you around so we can take a look at some slabs. All right, we're going to use a beautiful Otherverse mat tonight. And since we're doing Otherverse mat, I figured we're going to start with the most popular company that everyone either loves or hates or just uses because they like money. We have PSA. Your classic PSA. Some of the, the older ones, I don't have a good example of one of those, unfortunately, but at some point they put the QR code on the back. You can scan all this stuff, check out the pop reports and all that nice, cool stuff. Since we're doing Otherverse, we got Corpse Queen. Corpse Queen right there. Beautiful card, PSA 10. I personally like Otherverse. This video isn't about Otherverse. I plan on doing one of those later in the future. I keep putting it off because I keep finding more stuff I want to add. But this is our example for PSA. Pretty basic label, in my opinion. Obviously, they got some sort of securities like on the tag. The actual casing itself, it just feels weak. And this time, it does not look like they have any sort of like penny sleeve or anything in here. So it's quite possible this may move around. You can kind of hear something moving. Stops when I grab the top. Yeah. I think the little paper in here is moving. But let's check the other ones out. Set you right there. Beautiful. Oh, too much glare for that. All right. I'd call it second for volume, but not second for value. I'm going to pull out this guy here. We have a pristine 10 CGC. This is the Burger Chew. This is the highest grade you can get for CGC is the pristine 10, which means they found the card practically flawless. Same thing here. In fact, let's make it fair and pull it out. Very clear slab. I mean, as far as, oh, I can hear this thing squeaking when I squish it. You guys hear that? Let's see if we can do the shake test. Same thing. It moves. Still moves when I grab the top. Still move. I actually felt it thump. It also has no inner sleeve, it looks like. Sorry about the light glare, guys. Yeah, people like to use CGC because they generally can grade faster, they can grade cheaper, and you can get higher volume. And if you're selling TCGs, one of the things you want is volume. So something like this in the pristine label, last time I checked, was selling. It fluctuates so greatly between $90 and $110, depending on the day, depending on the mood. I guess it just fluctuates. But this is the highest grade. They also have a 10, their basic 10, which is kind of like I would compare it to getting hit with a 9.5 at Beckett. It's not the most desirable one, and I like the pretty Cosmos Hollows. GameStop promo. But it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same material of the slab. I'm sure it moves. Definitely moves. Again, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I can definitely hear it. And fun. Here's an older one. Before they changed their labels, this one is a Alpha Lithograph 8.5 Air. And that's a cool thing about CGC too. I like to showcase is that if you have error cards, they will mark and label error cards more frequently than PSA will. Like as a printer hickey, like right there. So they labeled an error. And I just wanted to show this one off because I thought the old cool ones, blue labels, were pretty cool with subgrades. They stopped doing subgrades, unfortunately. Okay. Last but definitely not least, especially if you're trying to go for black labels, with Beckett. But this is an example of a Beckett crap slab. This is like the grading service you used if you were just trying to push shit out the door. This one's a 10 PCG. Obviously you can tell it's Beckett. This is the crummiest label ever. I don't even know if they still do this or not. But I had one of these, so I figured I'd show it off. Now, to a real Beckett. Check out this beautiful Otherverse card. Beautiful. And I can point it out right now, this does have an inner sleeve. Beckett puts their cards inside of an inner sleeve. It's got a metal label. Kind of engraving thing going on inside there for Beckett. It does have subgrades. See if it moves. That thing does not move. Nope. No movement whatsoever I can feel. And this boy is thick. Thick, thick, thick. Very nice. You feel a Beckett slab, this thing just feels dense. Beautiful. And this particular Crystal Thing Ice Dragon, again, lovely card, Otherverse. Thank you. Put that over there with that other one. Alright, here's another mainstream company, and don't mind the slab because it's got some glue on it. This is SGC. Typically used for sports cards. They're kind of unique because they have this whole black background. That's that sticker residue I could clean off. It's a Butterfree. I stopped carrying. But I picked this one up when I first started getting into collecting. My God, talk. But I still had it here, so I figured I'd show it off. SGC, again, more used for sports. But, I mean, I like the look of the slab, personally. Maybe if you had a full black card, something dark would look better than a Butterfree in the slab. Okay, so there's the main ones. Now, another upcoming, I'm going to get it out of the little protector it's in. Which is probably good to use protectors because you don't want them smacking against... Oh, hit the camera. Want them smacking against each other and causing any damage. This is a tag slab. Very clear. It's transparent. It is pretty. Again, Arvin hit a 9. If I were to scan this little code here, it would tell me where the defects were and why they scored a 9, which is a really nice touch. I sent this one to myself. Right before they went crazy the last time, I sent off 10 cards, and this is... I want to say it's the last one of them I have left. I sold the rest. Sold pretty quickly on most of them. But this is a very... Oh. I pushed a little bit and I heard a little bit of a tick in there. Obviously this label isn't going to move. It's engraved. And the card moves. That card does not move. At least I didn't feel like it. But it is a very beautiful slab, but it feels very weak. And a lot of people do like the tag slabs because of the AI grading they use, the reports, and the transparency. Don't get me wrong, it is a nice looking slab. I don't know if I would use them again. Alright, here's a couple niche ones. Just because I have it. This is actually my son's. He got it as a gift. This is what? My God, I can't even read that thing. Diamond? DGS grading. So diamond grading. Just some other run-of-the-mill grade thing. I'm not even going to take it out of the sleeve. It's an option. It's there. I wouldn't use it personally, but who knows, right? Now here's another one. It's an AI grading company. AGS. They have some pretty labels. Let's take this out. Oop. I'm sure if you scan this, it would probably tell you why I got the grade it did. It does not appear to have an inner sleeve at all. Which is another thing I didn't note on tag. The tag one didn't look like it had one either, if I forgot to mention that. I do like the label. It's very pretty. And last time I looked at AGS, I think they had kind of like bulk volume. The more you sent, the better the pricing was. But they're, from what I can tell, just straight AI grading company, similar to Tag. Not as popular as Tag, obviously. Who in the world graded this Galarian Moltres? I have no idea, but I got a 10. Let's see if it moves. Yep. You can hear that little tag moving around in there. Slows down if I like pinch up here where the label is. A little bit, I can kind of feel it. But another AI grading company that's somewhat popular. There we go. Set you there. Alright, so I got 2 more to go. And the last, I'm going to save my personal favorite for the last. But this is a cool company I like to use for my personal cards. Matter of fact, I got more of these other verse cards I want to send to these guys as soon as they change their slabs. This is called Degree Grading. Now, Degree is kind of unique where they have a score from 0 all the way to 11. 0 being absolute crap, and I'll show you what that looks like. I have my personal oldest childhood card I want to show off. And I was so happy they slabbed it because it's so bad. I'll show you in a minute. But on the back, let's take it out. It does have subgrades. It's slightly different than the other ones that are numerical on like the BGS and the old CGC. You can scan this. It gives you some basic information and the subgrades. It doesn't really tell you why. But there's all your subgrades and dent surface, and they deem this one to be a 10. So it doesn't have any defects. Very pretty Japanese Eevee. And I did grade this one myself, and I got the 10. I was hoping for the 11, but you know, you get what you get, right? So, Degree Grading, they usually run specials, or if you send them in bulk, and you get a little bit better deal if you pay it up front instead of paying at the end. And they're about to change their design on their slab, where they're going to have a black carbon fiber slab, and you can customize the color of the label. Because typically, green is like their 10s and high. Like 7 to 10 is green. Like 6 to, I want to say, 1 or 2 is yellow. Actually, one memento. Por favor. I didn't prepare this, but I have a couple right here. Maybe. These are zeros. I don't want to show off a 0 because I'm going to show one in a minute. A 10. There's a 7. That's an ungraded card. This one, the Charizard here. Ah, Charizard. That one got a 6, so they changed the label to yellow. Where's my birds? They got like Articuno here, got a 3, so it's orange, so that's orange. They came out with these little nifty cover bags. This slips right off, but I thought that was a cool touch. But they're going to change those, so I'm going to wait to send off my other verse ones so I can get the black carbon fiber, and I'll show those off at a later date when that's available. But here's a 0. Here's my Puppetmon. This is my personal oldest card that I've had sitting around. I got myself in a lot of trouble when I was a kid, and they threw away my cards. And I just happened to have this one in a top loader sitting inside of a briefcase that no one ever knew about. But I washed it, see? There's no back. Let's check out the subgrades. That's a practical 0 on the surface, corners and edges. They seem to deem it was somewhat centered, and completely failed crease and dents. Quite frankly, I'm just happy they slabbed it. This is beautiful. I'll never get rid of it. This will this will get buried with me if I can talk right. Very beautiful card. I've been wanting to get myself a new one, but they're like 150 the last time I looked for a near mint copy of Puppetmon. But this just holds the memories, which I think is something really cool that Greed does, where you can have something like this graded, or you can even have it encapsulated if you don't like the color, or you could probably even have the color changed when the new system comes out. They use the red for the zeros and actually says RIP on it, which I think is cool. But nonetheless, they'll grade stuff like this if you just want it thrown in a slab, which is really neat. I'll set you right there, Puppetmon. Okay. Shaking up the scene. And if you guys seen any of my shorts, I've been chilling this stuff hard. Because I really believe that someone needs to shake up the market. Is anyone going to take over PSA? Absolutely not. No one's going to say they are. They shouldn't even try. But what they can do is take away market share and make them more competitive. This is a PCG Premier Card Grading slab. It does have the inner sleeve, which is nice. Nice touch. See if it... Yep. I don't know if you can hear that. It's moving in there like most of the rest of them. This one's a pristine 10. So we got 10, 10, 10, so here's your subgrades in a 9.5. This was a damn near perfect 10, which they would have done a gold engraved label. Fun fact, this is actually supposed to be a gold label, not a silver label. They messed that up, and they said they'd fix it if I sent it back, and I'll probably do that if it doesn't sell before I send my next order in. I plan on sending another order of 10 in here soon. Oh, focus. It's got the card information on the back. My camera doesn't want to focus for me right now. QR code. But something I'll tell you about this slab off the hand. It is thick. Thick old boyo. Ugh. Thick, like I can toss this thing across the room. Thick. I'm not going to do that right now because it's currently 12:15 and I have kids sleeping. I don't know, maybe I'll take my little Vinsmoke Sunji. That's a PCG 8. Maybe I'll hit that with a hammer and see what happens. But I really encourage you guys to try this out. PCG, they do not upcharge. And I really didn't go over that so much with the other ones. Maybe I'll recap that real quick. But they do not upcharge. They are not going to keep your cards for, 8 to 10 months. You pay them up front when you do send it. So after you get the orders put in, you get your coupon code put in, it'll show you your shipping options. You can choose to insure your cards extra if you like. I insured my last 5 at market value of each card. That way if they got lost or something, at least I got the market value back for the cards. Not the graded market value, but the raw. Because to be honest, because this is a semi-new company, they've been out for a while. But not a lot of people have used them. So there's not a lot of comp data. So it's hard to gauge what the market price is. So we're going to try to set a market. This one, out of everything sitting here, is for sale. If you guys want it, hit me up. It's available on eBay, or you can message me directly and I'll make you a better deal. I would prefer to sell it on eBay, even though I'm going to eat fees because I need the market data. They need market data. So let's recap that upcharge thing. Obviously, King Dingling PSA upcharges you out the ass. CGC, they will, if it exceeds the value, it just goes to the next level, and it's not typically ridiculous. Beckett, as far as I understand, does not upcharge you, but make sure that you accurately report your the value of your card, or it may go missing. I don't know about SGC. I've never graded anything with them. Tag was similar. There was no upcharge, but there are value levels. So if you exceed that, yeah, I guess that is an upcharge. I lied. Degree, there is nothing. AGS, my understanding, there's nothing. I know nothing about this diamond, and there's absolutely no upcharges with PCG. All right, hold on. So tell me what you guys thought. Any feedback would be appreciated. You guys going to stick with PSA for the profit? Are you guys going to go to CGC for the quick flip and the cheap, it's somewhat quick turnaround? You guys going to go for Beckett for the potential, black label that's ridiculously expensive if you happen to get one? Or are you guys willing to try another company like Degree Grading? Or if you guys like the AI, you can do the tag or the AGS. Or if you guys want to try to shake up the market and help good old Rudy out, we can do the PCG. I personally like PCG. I'm going to be sending out 10 more cards. I'm sending out a little variety of a few different things. And frankly, the more cards I keep getting, the more I want to send, because I'm like, that's cool. I want that graded. But, ultimately it's up to you guys. Most people are going to go with PSA simply because that's where the money is. But I implore you guys, if you guys want to see a change in things, that you have to actually take action to change it. By either stop using PSA as much, quit sending everything in the goddamn sun to PSA, even before they were backed up, half a year or whatever it is. People were sending the most ridiculous things because they can get stupid value for those things because it's PSA. So the only incentive you can give a company, any company, is to not use their service. So if you want to see change, you need your cards graded, try PCG. Go to CGC. You could try Beckett. I have not heard good things about it. Tag they're closed down on their lower end stuff, so unless you think you can spend like $130 and flip it, I don't suggest that. At least, until they open it back up. Degree is my personal favorite, or PC grading company, as I showed you guys. But they're not like market movers. I mean, I've sold a few of them, but they're typically going to other people who like Degree Grading. But I personally think that PCG, this is the way to go. I'm trying to bend this sucker. I mean, I guess if I put it in a vise, I could probably get it. This feels like quality. I know people don't like the little things down here. I don't care. So, Knacks Plus, eBay, TCG Player, Manipool, you know who you are. Or you can direct message me on Instagram if you guys need anything else. Leave a comment, subscribe, thumbs up please, helps out a lot. Have a great night.